Patterson, Ambassador. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. So let's just begin with the whole reason why we're here. First and foremost, we're looking at fintech. We're looking at how Ireland and Nigeria can collaborate, to make that revolution in Nigeria move forward. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I suppose first of all, I came down here today to open, this workshop on, Ireland, and fintech. We have an incredible offering. I think that we have for Nigeria. We have some companies that are at the cutting edge of innovation, and I think the sense that we can actually collaborate more closely with Nigeria, work more closely with the Nigerian government, and work more closely with Nigerian companies, in this space, I think is very important for us. We have companies now that, if you look at where Nigeria is in terms of its economy, and as a developing economy, I think it's very, very important, that we can actually use these new technologies to help Nigeria make a great step forward. Well, Irish companies are looking to do business everywhere. We are the second most open economy in the world, so our Irish companies will seek to do business wherever they can. But in particular, I think one of the huge aspects is that Nigeria is a huge market. It is a population of 200 million people. That population is continuing to grow, and growing at quite a fast rate. And I think we have identified that there are very significant opportunities here.
Before now, there has been some form of trade between Ireland and Nigeria, and what has been the impact?
Well, I think traditionally we have. Some of the companies everyone will know. Everyone knows about Guinness. A lot of people will know about PW, who have built many of the roads here in Lagos. PW have been here now for 45 years in Nigeria, and they continue to do work all over Nigeria. But I suppose these are new opportunities for us now. I think in the tech space, Nigeria is making great progress itself. It is looking to improve its regulation. It is improving its offer, and I think we will probably also have quite a lot to learn from Nigeria itself as it goes through its own process of learning.
So one thing that you've actually made mention of is the fact, or is the word you've made mention the most is technology, internet and all of that. How important, is that in this age? We're approaching the fourth industrial revolution.
Well, I think it's incredibly important. It is the next generation, all the time. And I think particularly in a developing country like Nigeria, allowing people to access tech, allowing people to access the internet, and especially I think in rural areas, and connecting people, to this world. Because I think without that access, it's very difficult, I think, for Nigeria to take that step. So we're anxious to help in whatever way we can. I think it's a peer-to-peer education. I think in the first instance. I think Irish companies and Nigerian companies can learn a lot from each other. I think as well. I think it's important that we can ensure that there are opportunities. For example, for peer visits. To Ireland as well. To learn. How we have actually managed to take the step ourselves, because we have managed this step ourselves, I think in quite a short space of time. It's 20 years ago you would have found it difficult to imagine Ireland finding itself in this space. So it is quite possible to take a big step forward in quite a short space of time. So I think if we can offer opportunities for Nigeria to learn, we will certainly look to do that.
All right. So if you look at the fact that a lot of people will think that this might encourage a lot more. Maybe Nigerians or people who live in Lagos, who are pretty much very close to the embassy, and also Abuja, might make them, relocate. That's brain drain now. Speaking of brain drain, what are we going to be doing to encourage people or to bridge that gap to ensure they don't really move out, but stay back here and implement all of these technological evolutions, especially with fintech?
And I think we've always found ourselves. So we've experienced this, I think, in quite a number of countries where we either do business or we have development assistance programs. We always encourage people to stay. It can always be a risk, that people will take their skills elsewhere. But I think you come here to Lagos, and I think Lagos is an incredibly vibrant city. It is the financial and commercial hub of Nigeria. I think the danger is certainly less here than it might be, than than it actually might be elsewhere. And I think sort of people will, if Nigeria can continue to make the strides that it is doing in the space, because I've seen quite a number of fascinating companies now this morning, who are operating incredibly effectively. With companies like these, Nigeria can make that sort of leap forward.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for speaking with us on the show.
Okay, it's been my pleasure.
Of course.
Thank you.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
The video of another illegal detention center discovered in Kaduna begins this week's most viewed videos.
What happened this time around, His Excellency the Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai actually visited that facility and closed it down. And he asked us to remove all the inmates there and secure them. And that was exactly what we did. Just as we did the first time, we brought them to Hajj camp, where we have taken their statistics to find out the actual number of the inmates, which comes up to be 147, out of which 22 are females. And then we have 4 below the age of 18, and then the rest are adults. While also amongst them we have 2 Cameroonians and 2 from Niger Republic.
What they have done is completely illegal. It is a shame and an insult on the people of Kogi State and the entire nation in general. And I think that if our democracy...
In fourth is that of a former deputy governor, maintaining that his impeachment is unconstitutional, null and void.
The entire nation must rise to the occasion to ensure that this lawlessness, as it is being done in Kogi State, is stopped at all costs.
If we do not want to promote the kind of conflict that can go completely out of hand, we must be sure that we are policing ourselves and regulating ourselves, especially on social media.
It is followed by that of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, warning against the misuse of the social media.
I don't think that government regulation is necessarily the way to go, but I believe that we as persons of faith, and we as leaders, and those of us who use the social media actively, owe a responsibility to our society.
Second spot is taken by the video of flooded areas in the Sherry Opik area of Lagos State. While first is the video of a multiple car accident on the Otedola Bridge in Lagos that left 2 people dead.
And there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. And that's the program this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now, but keep the tweets and the comments coming via our social media handles, which are showing on your screen.